Hello everyone, welcome to Vishnu IS Academy. Today we'll discuss about most important military transformations in India. So let's begin with. So if you see 1947 when India got independence and when Pakistan divided from India, so within span of 2 weeks again Pakistan attacked on our Jammu and Kashmir territory. By that time if you see a person named Somnath Sharma, only with a broken arm, he has attacked so many people of Pakistan, and in the battlefield, he gave an important statement saying, I shall not withdraw an inch, but will fight to our last man and our last town. That's what a beautiful sentence said by this man. So, posthumously, he has awarded with the most honored military art, which is nothing but a Paramveer Chakra. So, so when we see our condition in 1947 in regarding to defense sector, so there were no high technology sensors. In the same way, no integrated commands and no proper weapons also. But today, Indian military or defense system is large, integrated and modernized, and it's nuclearly compatible. And if you see, though we are self-reliant in most of the technologies and most of the product, but still we are now importing lot of things, especially defense sector. Still India is importing so many defense sector things from outside the world. For example, if you see MIGs from Russia and howitzers from Sweden, in the same way boots and rifles from Russia and other countries as well. So if you see, from today, from imports to self-reliant India, now we have grown. So if you see, Indian government in 2021, it has took a step banning 3,000 military items import. Why? Because now we are capable of making our own items, defense related items. If you see, DRDO is one of our major organization which helps us in supporting making all the defense related items. So if you see army vehicles, small helicopters, radars, drones, etc. are few things which we are currently self-reliant. So this self-reliance is not only possible with the people or the others as well. It is possible because of the collab we have. So if you see, private defense startups has grown to more number, and along with that government agencies and companies also started improving. So now if you see from 2013 to 14 and now current 2025 to 25 financial year, there is an increase of 34-fold defense exports to India, and now we are leading exporter to all other countries as well. So our exports value has gone from 686 to 23,632 crores. It's a huge amount, right? So if you see, now there is a sudden jump of the three times value compared to 2014 and 25, and the production value has rose to 21% in total. So if you see, we are also a good exporters to Armenia, Philippines and Vietnam. So for example, if you take in a defense system like Akash and BrahMos with the collaboration of Russia, now we are good at all the battlefields. And in the similar way, if you even we are supporting software systems to France also. And if you see, now now going forward, let's see some of the few things about the nuclear power of India. So by the time 1947, when we got the independence, like whole the world was looking like us, like these country, newly born country, it has nothing. But in 1998, up to 1998, every country all around the world are looking us with a nuclear ambiguity. But on 1998 May 11th, we proved ourselves by Pokhran test with the operation named Shakti. Shakti is nothing but a strength. So with that, by testing 5 nuclear devices, we proved ourselves. That's what it's a 15 atom bomb and 14 kilowatt hydrogen bomb. We tested with the help of great visionary of APJ Abdul Kalam and Chidambaram as well. So with that, we became sixth country to join nuclear club. So if we look at the nuclear test story, so by that time US was spying all the countries with the satellites. But in order to escape from those satellites, all the scientists took the role of cricketers, took the role of billiards. So in order to trick the spy satellites, they started playing cricket. And in the similar way, to keep bombs safe, they started playing billiards. In that way, with each and every support from all the corners of Rajasthan, they successfully conducted a Pokhran test from Rajasthan. So it was the, you can say it was the one of the most covert operation led by India. And if you see now, because of the Pokhran test in 98, now we started designing our own doctrine of policy of nuclear. So our India's nuclear doctrine policy deals with four important things: no first use, and credible minimum deterrence, and civilian control. So if you see, most of the countries around the world, the nuclear power is controlled by the government or the military, but the power here is civilian control. It has given to a people. So once again, by this, India is again proving that it's the greatest democratic country in the world. And if you see, our transformation from importer to self-reliant and exporter in a bit stage wise. So if you see, now we have our own land-based system called Agni, and a similar way we have a air-based system called Astra, and a similar way we have sea-based system called K-15 Sagarika or BrahMos with a collab of Russia. So India built with that, India built a full nuclear triad. Air Force, Army, Navy, three together we are dealing now. And with that, we also proved one thing: we are not only powerful, but we are also responsible as well. And if you see, was this transformation India is stable, or whatever we have taken the steps, will that eventually lead to our transformation how we are present? It's a big question now. So we'll start with the sum of the reforms beginning from 1947. So if you take 1947, after independence, 1949, General K.M. Cariappa is the first Indian Army chief. So by that time, because of the influence of colonial era, our, our army is only dealt with units by caste and ranks by race. But the man, you can see over he transformed everything. Now, all the brigades were built not on the basis of caste or ranks. He started a brigade of the guards. It's a first Indian all-class regiment. And see, he on and one more, the reform he brought into the military is now military is no more answerable to the power. Military is only answerable to the constitution. That's what he is the man of greatest reforms in the military. And there is a one story of Mr. Cariappa which shows us the power of professionalism. So, if you see, 1965, when we are facing a problem with the Pakistan, by the time President was Ayub Khan. He is actually the trainee under Cariappa long ago. So, when Cariappa's own son was prisoned by Pakistan, Ayub Khan said, because of interest, I'll release your son. But our Cariappa said, no, my son, he is my son no longer. I have given him for India. So he is a son of India now. And every Indian soldier in your custody deserves equal treatment. That's why he left even his own son. This shows how commitment and how professional we are, and this Cariappa the man. He is a good example of deterrence, resilience, and perseverance. And if you go further, we'll see one more interesting story of transformation of this military or defense. See, if you see 1962, before Pakistan attacking on India, again China attacked on all the Himalayas. Himalayas, by the time we know that all the temperatures are like in the minus, and the terrain is more way difficult, and that's what we don't have any capacity, or we don't have any access, or we don't have any strategy to fight on the Himalayas. By the time when China attacked on us, our soldiers had rifles, no winter gear, and there are lack of high strategy in the high altitudes. Due to this, we lost with China. But we didn't we didn't sit silently. We started rebuilding and we started restructuring our own military or defense system. So with this transformation, there is a one more important person. He's a defense minister, Y.V. Chauhan. So he gave a important and he played important role in transformation. How? Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis, he started keeping all morning meetings. By that, suddenly, because of this morning meetings or assemblies we call for all the military and the army and the defense staff, with that suddenly troops were raised up to 20,000, and each and every state now they started giving their own children to defense system. That's why this YV Chauhan is a man of military, or is a man of future, you can see. And now if you see, after this reforms, after this so many things, after rebuilding our structure or the strategies and imparting all the strategy into the defense system, now we were facing one more threat, that is from the eastern part of India, Bangladesh. We now successfully liberated Bangladesh in 1971 from Pakistan. So not only that, in which 90,000 Pakistani soldiers got surrendered. So out of all the people who battled in, 90,000 is a huge number. So if you see, after World War II, this is the highest surrender soldiers in the whole world itself. And with that, we show to the whole world like how preparation plays an important role. And next in the next decade, we faced a biggest challenge again with the Pakistan in 1999 with the Kargil War. So if you see in Kargil War, all the soldiers they started attacking on all the Jammu and Kashmir and all the Himalayan regions. But we are not aware. By the time we aware of the things, everything is not under control. So that time also the high altitude regions are very fragile to tackle. It's around 60,000 feet we can see, but with the help of a person, Captain Vikram Batra. He is the person who led the army and he took charge of the all commanders, and he, with the slogan "A Dil Mange More," he started going to the high altitudes and he recaptured our own territory. So after that, posthumously, he got again Paramveer Chakra, and we all have to thank him because of his bravery. And if you see, though we won the battle, but still we are having certain gaps. What are those? No center military intelligence agency. Because of that, we are unable to find the Pakistani territories in India. And again, no coordination among the inter services. Like if you see Air Force, Navy, military, these and all, they're not coordinated well. In the same way, no mountain doctrine. We don't have any strategy or plan how to fight in the mountain terrains, that's lagging. So because to address these all gaps, now we started building a good committee, Kargil Review Committee. So with that committee, now we started giving training to all our soldiers. So we first established a army school for Himalayan mountaineering training at Gulmarg. And after that, we were continuously upgrading and updating ourselves to win or face any battles we are facing in the future. So with that upgraded artillery, now we have K9 Vajra and M777 howitzers from Sweden as well. These are the two upgraded artilleries currently we have in the military. And so one more thing, after the Kargil war, now what we did, so instead of assuming peace, Now we started planning. Now we started automating. Now we started modernizing. So that's what it's a big reform we can say in our military or defense system in order to retaliate to our enemies. And if you see, after that, until then, there is a no coordination, and all the Air Force, Navy, Army, they are not united. Now we brought all the three together. Now our team is united. And with that unification, we brought two more reforms: Defense Intelligence Agency and Integrated Defense Staff. So, with that, this united us team in 2019, our first CDS is appointed. His name is Bipin Rawat, and his task is to build first theatre commands. After that, in 2025, with the Operation Sindoor, we coordinated this assault. So now our Defense Minister Rajnath Singh gave a powerful statement saying that not only military or the political, even the logistics play a prominent role in non-defense sector. That's why he has said a beautiful statement. Logistics decided the outcome, that too mainly in the Operation Sindoor. It's a proof of our military capability. And if you see, now in currently India, now with the role of women playing in the military, we are also proved that even gender inclusion has been under defense. So now our defense system is completely 360-degree transformed. So so with that, we can see our Indian defense system is now completely capable, resilient, powerful, and ambitious. So let's salute all military men who are saving us each and every day. With that, we'll end this session. If you like our initiative, please comment, share, like our Vishnu IAS Academy channel. Thank you.